Well, let me ask you guys this while you're looking that up, Doug.
Yep.
He has the Vikings second in this division. Are you guys more fearful of the Vikings or the Bears? Because the Bears seem to be that kind of, we think they could be really good, but we're not sure yet. Is it too early? And the Vikings are on the way down, it seems like. I mean, there's talks about releasing Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins is another year older. Their defense is not getting any better, and their defense wasn't good last year.
It's funny because for me, it's about like the individual game, Lions versus Bears or Lions versus Vikings. I'm more concerned about the Bears in a game-by-game comparison. But overall, I think it's the Vikings as a team that could have more of an effect on the division, but it's a matchup thing. I won't know until I see, but I'm not convinced the Lions have done enough to handle a quarterback with the skills that Justin Fields has, where his ability to run. I mean, even though they beat him, it's not like they lost to the Bears last year, but I just think another year older, and now he's actually got some weapons to work with there. He can be really, really good for that team.
I will say that I have a theory that Justin Fields is a problem until the moment he isn't. And by that, I mean with many running quarterbacks and guys who run a lot, it's only a matter of time before they lose a step. You just take too many hits. And, it's not a hard and fast rule, but I would be leery if I were a Bears fan about having a quarterback that plays that style. Now, with that said, to me, the Vikings and the Packers are the past, and the Bears and the Lions are the future of the NFC North. And it feels like it's been the Vikings and the Packers for a long time. The Bears scare me more. And the Vikings are absolutely a quality team. But, man, did they get some breaks last year.
I agree with you, Gator, as in it seems like a straight-up matchup. I'd rather play the Vikings than the Bears. But I think with you, Doug, the Bears overall scare me more. Now, you question Fields' style. Yeah, it could lead you to more injuries possibly. But if he takes a Jalen Hurts-type leap, well, that's a big leap, okay? But Jalen Hurts is a runner as well. You just have to learn how to protect yourself, slide, get out of bounds. Guess what happened when Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown? Devontae Smith came into his own. Dallas Goedert. The Bears picked up DJ Moore, who's a very underrated receiver in this league because he's had terrible quarterbacks. Chase Claypool got mid-season last year. They're picking up weapons, so Fields doesn't have to. He had to carry that team on his back. He had to run that style because they had nothing.
And they drafted Velus Jones, who's fast as hell. They add some to the running back room, obviously because they lost Montgomery, but they drafted Rashawn Johnson from Texas, and Dante Foreman is there. The defense is improved in some respects with guys they picked up, and T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker. That should be a huge move for them to see what they can do. And this is a team that took advantage of the draft as well. So I'm not saying they're better than the Lions because I don't think they are. And I agree with you, Doug. I think the future of the division is the Lions and the Bears, with the Packers and the Vikings kind of taking a back seat for the next few years.
Yeah, I don't know when.
But the Vikings, I think, are still better this year. It's just moving forward. Do they have their guy when Kirk Cousins is done? And Kirk Cousins isn't special.
Yeah, I mean, let's call it what it is with Justin Fields. He's a problem. He is a problem and is going to continue to be a problem. But he's not the complete quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. Last year, only 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. The 2 games against the Lions, you know how many passes he completed against the Lions in 2 games?
No.
19.
Wow. Well, he ran for like 170 in one game.
He did. In the 2 games against the Lions, he rushed for 310 yards.
Wow.
I mean, he had to do that style. And the Lions couldn't stop it either.
Yeah.
Right? You keep doing it until they stop it, but he had no one to throw to.
Now, the Vikings, they made an interesting draft pick when they took Jordan Addison. So they throw out there Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and then they have some backups there as well. And right now, for the moment, they still have Dalvin Cook. But offensively, Kirk Cousins has some guys to work with here, and then in a full season with T.J. Hawkinson at tight end as well. It might be interesting.
I have no comments.
Yeah, well, But look, we can all admit he's good.
He's good.
I don't think he's great. I think he's good. A very solid tight end who's an offensive-minded tight end. So I'm not quick to write off the Vikings. I just think that, as you pointed out, they had a lot of luck go their way. A lot of things go their way last season with all those narrow wins.
My guess is they're going to be in the mix. I would guess that the Vikings are going to be in the mix in the division. The only team that I'm not scared of is Green Bay. I mean, at this point, Green Bay is. Am I foolish for thinking of them as the afterthought of the division?
Well, I mean, it starts with a quarterback, and I don't think much of the quarterback.
What is there to think of the quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, they can run the ball with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, but if you stack the line to stop the run, then what do they have? They've got a couple of young receivers, and they drafted Jaden Reed. So they have 3 really young receivers that have a lot of talent, but they also drafted a tight end who's projected to start. It's a young team. Now maybe we're way underselling the Packers, and maybe the Packers will be a force to be reckoned with in a couple of years because of all that young talent.
But guys, when's the last time they replaced a 15-year veteran Hall of Fame quarterback with another 15-year veteran Hall of Fame quarterback?
I know.
It's been a while.
If they, I will say, are you effing kidding me?
Oh my God!
Jab a pen into my eye directly into the brainstem scenario is if they did.
Is this like the
if
Spurs?
Jordan Love? No, I hate the Spurs because the Spurs are the luckiest lottery team in the history of sports lotteries. But if they had I would just have to tip my cap to them. But there's no way, right? There's no way. No way